Welcome to the new channel, Inquiry into Unconditional Love, and we got to get this going by July 5th. Today is July 4th. I'm here outside on an unbelievably beautiful day in the Bay Area of California. Very breezy, but just a wonderful, wonderful day. So we're just hanging out here, getting the ball rolling. I'm in a good mood. Had a wonderful dreams last night that showed that something really great is on its way here, and we need it. We need it because starting July 5th, really it's a whole new phase of the world situation. We're heading towards the end of 2012. At that point, it's going to be another huge shift, to say the least. And what we're doing here with the Inquiry into Unconditional Love is we are focusing on what is unconditional love, getting close to allowing it, allowing ourselves to experience it, allowing ourselves to be aware of it, allowing our awareness to abide in unconditional love, because only that really is the true remedy, the sovereign remedy for everything that ails us. Not shifting to higher frequencies, not shifting to lower frequencies, not staying in the same frequency. Those are not the remedies. Frequencies are not the remedy. Unconditional love is not a frequency. Amazing, huh? So it's one thing it's not. We can say neti, 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 not. It's not this, not this, not this. But it is the sovereign remedy. So we're going to focus in on that. And who knows what's going to happen, because intention is very powerful. And by doing something, getting the ball rolling, we'll see who steps up to the plate, what steps up to the plate. So we're in no hurry here. We can make these videos as long as we want. As long as this, I'm using Ustream Producer to stream these onto the internet, and then I download the video and then upload it to YouTube. That's how I have to do it now, because the YouTube webcam is unpredictable. It crashes, about 90% of the time. But this is working great. The resolution might not be as high, real high, but the kind of coloring I'm using here doesn't matter that much, does it? Not really. All that matters is that we experience unconditional love, which is not a frequency, which is not a play of energy. Wow, those are leaves. The wind is chasing the leaves all over the place. What is going on? And prayers to the people back east for their problems. I said on the last week in June, I said starting the last week in June, going up till July 5th, I called it Hell Week. It's a little more than a week. It is a time of tremendous problems. And I said, we have to make it to July 5th. And we're almost there. Okay. And if you're watching this, you probably are there. And I was right. Ahead of all these problems that I've had, I clearly said these days, what would be 10 days or so, are going to really, really be a difficult time to get through. And they were. And the people back east are really getting tremendous difficulty. But around the world, especially people in the U.S. with various decisions that have been handed down, which basically set a course of destiny, and that not everybody agrees with that destiny. There's of course there's polarization around all of this. Tough times, and then that terrible storms that struck the east suddenly. So I'm able to warn people, advise people ahead of time. I've been doing that for a long time. Most of the time I'm quite accurate, and I'm saying July 5th is opportunity time, which is why we're here. Opportunity time, tremendous opportunity time. Now some are going to shift into higher frequencies at the end of this year, going into 2013. Some are going to shift into lower frequencies. There's going to be a higher frequency Earth and a lower frequency Earth. Some are going to remain in the same frequencies, and they're going to experience, they're going to transition out of this planet because of the sun becoming unstable. But those aren't the only options. Okay, so here you're going to find out about another option. A better option. Way better. Immeasurably better. And that is your awareness. You become aware of unconditional love. How do you do that? It's a choice. It's a choice. It's not a process. It's a choice. Just as we as spirit chose to try and become prime creator, tried to change what we are, that was a choice. It was a whim. But it was still a choice. We decided, I wonder what it would be like if we could be prime creators. Let's try and be prime creators. And so we fell into this phantasmagoria of imagining this hypothetical scenario of plausibility, and like we're dreaming, and we're dreaming all based on the premise. Our faith and belief is based on the premise that we can change what we are. And that's a false premise. Okay? We cannot change what we are, but we can try. We can imagine. We can have faith and belief and imaginings and plausibility that we can accomplish this. And all of this results in all these frequencies. The play of energy. Frequencies. Play of frequency. All of that is a dream. Okay? That is not reality. Reality doesn't have any frequency. Reality is not a play of energy. It is a being directly experiencing essence. Okay, but we have forgotten this. We are in a deep, deep state of forgetfulness. So we need a way back to remembrance. And what is that way back? What is the way of remembrance? Unconditional love. Being aware of unconditional love is the way back to remembrance of what we really are. And on my other channels, I've gone over this many, many times, but we're opening up a new channel here with the intention that we focus a little higher focus, and even we may have some wonderful, wonderful breakthroughs here. This channel is for people primarily who realize that being aware of unconditional love, that is what they want. They realize that no matter what frequency experience we're having, we're still in a state of forgetfulness of what we are. We're still basing all that on the premise that we can become something different than what we are. And all this is a false premise, and we need to exchange premises. We need to exchange the premise that we can change what we are, and we need to exchange that for the premise that we can't change what we are. You see, reality doesn't need any premises, right? It is. It doesn't need a premise to be what it is. It's only when we try to become something different than what we are, we need a premise that this is possible. And because we have been believing in this premise for so long, and have accumulated so much familiarity with functioning based on a premise, that the way back, it's best to still use a premise. But this premise is the premise that we can't change what we are. That is still a premise, right? And it has its effect, which is unconditional love. But it's still based on a premise. It's not being directly experiencing essence. It is awareness abiding in unconditional love, being aware of unconditional love. And this provides the perfect reminder, the perfect reflection of reality. And eventually we will drop all premises altogether and simply experience directly, being directly experiencing essence in a perfect seamless flow. But that is something that is beyond the scope of what we need to focus on. We need to focus on being aware of unconditional love, because that is the mirror of reality, but it's still premise-based, which is what we feel comfortable with. Okay? All of existence is premise-based. It's based on a false premise that we can change what we are. We cannot change what we are. The Prime Creator created us to complete creation, and that is our function. meaning that causation has to have effects. A cause has to have effects in order to be causation, because a cause without any effects, it's not causation, is it? So spirit is the completes the causation of the prime creator, the functioning of spirit. And here we are trying to change the direction of creation and saying, no, we're prime creator, that effects are the prime creator, and cause is the completion of causation for effects. We're really trying to have create a separate reality which is cause-free. It's just effects with no cause. So it doesn't matter what frequency, we are imagining ourselves to be in. And so this channel is for those who are awakening to awareness of unconditional love, realizing this is the true remedy. This is what we really need. Ascending into a higher frequency, that's still same old, same old. Descending into lower frequency, same old, same old. Trying to blend the two frequencies, which is what we've been experiencing on this planet, Earth, for quite some time now. Same old, same thing, right? It's like you take one fantasy and then take another fantasy and then you try to blend the two fantasies together. It's still fantasy, still premise based on a false premise. But changes are coming, so we really need to get a big boost at this time, because really there will be this shifting of frequencies, the splitting of frequencies, parting of destiny, as it were. But really, all those frequencies, it's really the same. That's a fantasy. It's based on a false premise. And some are waking up to this. I'm here because I am waking up to this. I'm realizing it. I'm realizing that all learning is futile. All teaching is futile. All efforts to understand are futile. Because it's not the experiencing of unconditional love. It's not the I. There's not some I experiencing it. It's awareness itself that is experiencing it. It's different than an I experiencing it, because unconditional love is overlays all of existence, all frequencies, overlays them all, but it itself is not a frequency. We cannot learn about unconditional love. We cannot understand it. We can only be aware of it, to experience it, to abide in it. It's not an I that is learning it. The I arose from the premise that reality can be changed. And the I is seen as the ultimate goal of learning how to be different than what we are. That eventually we'll arrive at some other identity, and we call this identity I. I is simply something to put faith and belief into. There is no I, but it's faith and belief that there will be an I. Okay. So teachers talk about self-inquiry. Inquiry into the I is to realize there is no I. It is simply a hope and a wish and a prayer with faith and conviction and belief that we'll eventually learn, through all this play of frequency, learn how to establish a new identity. But we won't. It's futile, entirely futile. And no realization will ever work for us. The realization that it's futile is itself still learning. It's still happening to an I, okay, or supposed I. Only the direct awareness, the awareness of unconditional love, and abiding in that, only that will remind us of what we are. Nothing else ever can we ever come up with. No learning ever suffices. It leaves us always with this feeling of dissatisfaction. There's no way to forget what we are. We can't learn that we're something else, because we're not. We can't change what we are. So how can we learn to be something else? We cannot. And yet we're trying. And trying and trying and trying. We can try in the higher frequencies. We can try in the lower frequencies. We can try in the mixed frequencies. It's all the same trying. It's all still zero. It's all still nothing. It's futile. Gets us nowhere. So satsang, inquiry, satsang, is to realize that satsang doesn't work. Why? Because learning doesn't work. You can't learn to love. That doesn't work. You can't. Understanding doesn't work. You can't understand anything. None of that works. But satsang is the reminder that none of that works. So it's sort of the end of futility. But the end of futility itself doesn't work until we exchange belief systems. We have the belief system here and one over here, and we exchange them. Okay? We exchange the belief system. That reality can be changed. For the belief system that reality cannot be changed. We exchange the premise that reality can be changed for the premise that reality cannot be changed. And the effect of that premise that reality cannot be changed is unconditional love. Unconditional love is stillness. It's pure stillness. Some call it pure emptiness, pure consciousness, pure awareness, perfect peace, seamless peace, vision of oneness, vision of Christ, nirvana, no moving. What it is, it's an effect which is not trying to change what it is. It's not trying to be other than what it is. It simply is what it is. Unchanging, no modification, and unconditional, puts no conditions. We're all pre-qualified to experience this. There's no requirements, there's no resume required. And it overlays all frequencies, all play of energy, overlays everything equally. It's not more here and less there. It's not changing, it's not becoming more or less. From the very beginning, equal overlay in quantity and quality. No specialness, absolutely no specialness. All times, all places, all situations are equally overlaid, past, present, and future, by unconditional love. So right now, this very instant, it's the exact same quality of unconditional love as any other time, place, or situation ever, past, present, or future. Right now, we are in it. We're right there. It's right there for us, right now. Always we can say this. So we always can be fired up and hopeful because it's right here, right now. And of course we're waiting thinking next moment might be better. It's not. The process of frequency always posits that, time with change, things can change, get better, get even more, increase. Unconditional love cannot increase. It cannot increase. It cannot decrease. It's always here in the exact same measure. It will always be here with us. As with everyone, all situations. Omnipresent, same quality, same quantity, same characteristic, still, perfectly calm, perfectly tranquil, perfectly peaceful. Right here, right now. And there's nothing that we need to do to establish it. It arises from the premise that reality cannot be changed, which is a premise we chose. When we chose the premise that reality can be changed, we simultaneously chose the premise reality cannot be changed because we instantly knew. In fact, the Prime Creator informed us instantly, simultaneously, we need to choose the premise of reality can't be changed. So, unconditional love has always been with us. Never separate from us. There's never an instant where we were separate from unconditional love, where we did not have access to it, but where we couldn't have experienced it. We've just been continuing to pretend, our pretense, our arrogance that we can change what we are. We've been continuing on with that, playing with the frequencies of the stream of energy. And there are a lot of players, right? But the truth is, higher frequency, lower frequency, it's no difference. There's no difference in the play, really, because it's all futile. What part of impossible is different than some other part of impossible? What part of zero? 0 times 10, 0 times 1,000 is still 0. We keep saying, well, times 10 is one frequency, and 0 times 100 is a different frequency, 0 times a million is a different frequency. Yeah, maybe you're multiplying it faster, but you just all 0. 0 times 1, we can go 0 times 1. Okay, very slow. 0 times 10. 0 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, I always say, wow, that's fast frequency. 0 times a million, 0 times, brrr, you know, million. Still 0. Doesn't matter what the frequency is. And we can go on and on and on and talk about all of this, and we can do it, and it's easy. It's not difficult. What's important is if you feel like maybe you don't fit in anywhere, which is what I feel. You know, I've always felt, you know, I just don't fit into any of this. I've looked at all sides, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the high frequency, low frequency, and the mixture of the frequencies. I say, this is not it. This is not it. This is not it. Not it. Not it. Not it. I don't fit in here. No, this is not my destiny. Where is my destiny? I can't find it in frequency at all. And maybe you're like that. You're saying, what is my frequency? I don't think I have one. Was it still recording here? Yeah. All right. Just went through a frequency shift there. I don't know what happened. But we're still here. So we can say, we don't have, you know, where does my frequency? Don't have a frequency. Uh-oh, the gardeners have just shown up across the street, which just means we're going to get the leaf blower action. It's all good. It's all good, right? Doesn't matter what frequency. So if you feel like you can't find your frequency, maybe it's because you don't have a frequency. It's because you want to choose unconditional love. Okay? Consider that. Consider it well, because there are some who are like that. If you feel there's just no place to set your head, no place to rest, just can't find anything that seems to be home, and you hear all about this new age higher frequency talk, and still you say, well, that sounds real beautiful, very candy coated, sugar coated, and wonderful, but I still don't feel I could fit in there. And then you look at all the lower frequency stuff, you know, the darkness and the decadence and all that kind of stuff, and it seems to have some kind of grind to it, you know, and you look at it and say, huh, there's a lot there too, but I just don't feel I'm going to fit into that frequency either. And then you think about your time here in this world of kind of the mixture of those frequencies, balancing, mixing of them, and you say, you know, I don't really feel I fit in there either. Then you start panicking. Where do I fit in? You know, where do I go? And the answer is unconditional love. That is where you go. It's not a frequency. There we go. There is the leaf blower. Right on cue. On the 4th of July. Come on, guys. Everybody's picnicking. We're going to have a blowout barbecue later. I went out and shopped for that earlier. You got the water. I'll tell you what we have. We have the watermelon. Starting from the end with the desserts, we have fruit tarts, chocolate cheesecake, peach tart, and a chocolate cake. We have gelato. We have coconut gelato, Tahitian vanilla gelato, raspberry gelato, and double dark chocolate gelato. We got strawberries. We have hot fudge. We have watermelon. Going back to the meal, we have potato salad and macaroni pepper jack salad. We're going to barbecue some corn on the cob, and we're going to barbecue some chicken breast. I'm a vegetarian, so I won't eat the chicken breast. And we're going to have fresh squeezed homemade lemonade, which is absolutely fabulous, wonderful, using Meyer lemons. And we're just going to have a complete blowout, I guess. I even have a chocolate bar. I don't know what my main. I guess the salad is going to be my main dish, and the corn. So it's going to be terrific. So you know, we're going to do that later on in the day, as most people are. And I hope you can hear this talk over that background hum. I guess you call that lower frequency, loud machinery on the 4th of July. We can turn it into a meditation. Let's just meditate on it for a little while. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll switch you over to some music with a lotus flower. Let's do that. Let's meditate on unconditional love for a little while, and just shift out of this loud frequency. Okay, here we go. Hopefully, I don't know if the music will be choppy or not, but here we go. Sorry. Well, the I'm hearing are very choppy on that audio. And so maybe it's saying the frequencies are getting choppy in this world, which is very true. And I don't know, maybe it's coming through smooth. We'll only find out when we upload the video to YouTube. But I know this audio is coming through okay, and maybe the leaf blower will go away. But you know, maybe that's a sign of the times. Things are going to get very choppy, right? And that'll upset us because as the frequencies start separating out, the higher the lower frequencies, you're going to get this choppiness in the world. The next 6 months, July, August, September, October, November, December, going to be very, very, very choppy. But if you stick with unconditional love, again, it's smooth, it's seamless, it has no frequency. You cannot be choppy. You can't throw any ripples into it. It doesn't ripple, doesn't foam, doesn't wave up. Doesn't matter how strong the wind blows. It doesn't move. It's unmoving. So as we pay attention to that, the choppy frequencies that are occurring won't bother us. Won't bother us. I wonder if I can pull up another video for you here. Let me try that. We're going live here. I'm going to try if I'm going to add a video shot. I can do this. We can do this, right? We can do this. As I say, it's 4th of July. We're just hanging out here. This is satsang. We don't have to be rat-a-tat-tat. Information every second. We're gonna try to upload a slice scan video, which is very, very interesting stuff. Go to downloads. Let me see if we have slice scan, wave slice. Here we go, wave slice. Let become very choppy. It could not import it because it was an FLV. Okay, interesting. Cannot import that type of file. Okay, well the leaf blower is going away anyway. But the frequencies can get all chaotic, right? Some people they yearn for, you know, pure frequencies. Other for very distorted frequencies. But frequency is vulnerable to change, to distortion, right? You can take some music here, and then while we're speaking, and then suddenly the leaf blower comes in, and those two frequencies are, you know, blended together. But love is not a frequency. Unconditional love is not a frequency. Now, unconditional love is not something you give somebody else. It's not an energy. It's not an energy. It is already there, perfectly distributed among everything equally. It's already overlaying everything. It's simply we abide in that. We don't give it to anyone. How can you give that which overlays it all, everything, all frequencies? What kind of frequency can we give someone? Which love is not a frequency. All we can do is assure others that this unconditional love is present in perfect stillness right now for us. We don't need to catch it. It's not moving. We only need to accept it. It's not coming from the head, it's not coming from the heart. It's coming from the premise that reality can't be changed. It's not felt in the head, it's not felt in the heart. It's felt everywhere. Okay? There's no border to it. There's no center to it. That's why some call it the great space, the great emptiness. It's not affection. Affection is a frequency. Emotion's a frequency. It's not a feeling. It's not an emotion. Those are all frequencies. Those are all energy-based. Energy is based on the premise that reality can be changed. That's what gave rise to what we call energy, play of energy. Again, reality, no energy in reality. It's essence. We have no idea what essence is like. We can't imagine it because imagination is energy too. And that leaf blow is getting far away. Maybe that's the lower frequencies are separating out. You know, that's okay. Nothing wrong with a leaf blower. It's just a frequency. Unconditional love is not disturbed by any frequencies. It's undisturbed, nirvana, unmoving. The wind is calming down. The atmosphere is a frequency, right? And the wind can come and it can shake it up. How do I do that? Yeah. Shake it up. The wind comes and shakes up the frequencies. But there's no wind in unconditional love. It's calm. It's calm. It's a calmness beyond any understanding. A peace beyond understanding. That's how it's been characterized. It's there available for us every moment. Perfectly available. Perfect condition, flawless, not a frequency. It can't be changed. Since it's not a frequency, it can't be shifted or changed or anything done to it. We can't shift into higher frequency of unconditional love. No, it's always right here, whatever frequency we're in. We have to exchange premises, and then we'll experience it. Won't be bothered by anything, by any frequency. It won't bother us. Now, there is a death-free realm. There is such a place where there is, which is really external expression of unconditional love. I've actually experienced that. I was actually somehow able to experience that while I was asleep. So I don't know if we will go to that place or not. As far as actually locale goes, I wouldn't worry about it too much. First of all, wherever you are, if you're in unconditional love, you're unaffected by frequency. You're in bliss. You're in calm tranquility that is perfectly aware that it is one, that it can't be changed, can't be shifted, can't be altered, can't be modified in any way. So wherever your body locale happens to be, your awareness is aware of unconditional love everywhere. Speck of dust, highest guru, it's all the same to you at that point. Because unconditional love rests equally upon everything. The highest frequency domain, the lowest frequency domain, all the same. It all rests on all equally, all frequencies. So we're not overly focused on where are we going, where will the physical body locale be, or we even be in bodies or anything like that. That's not that important. It kind of gets off the track. It's not entirely uninteresting, to talk about it. And if some information comes up, I'll share it. But I don't really have any particular information as regards to, where am I going? Where's my physical body going to end up? I don't know. Doesn't seem to be that important, really. Because if we haven't exchange premises, we will still be gauged in futility wherever we are. And so, same old, same old. Same old, same old. Fear is a frequency. Love is a frequency, but unconditional love is not a frequency. When we say love, we mean affection, some kind of energy that feels affectionate to us, that feels accepting, like maternal love is the typical symbol that is used to refer to this frequency, to frequencies that feel supportive to us. Okay, we're talking about supportive frequencies that support what? I guess our comfort, our feeling that we're not going to be attacked or whatever. But those are frequencies. That's not unconditional love. We're talking about something entirely different. Unconditional love simply is equally for all. It's not maternal. It's not paternal. It's not anything like that. It's not like a Mother Earth. I know a lot of those going to higher frequencies are talking about how they need to be one with Mother Earth and use the mother archetype a lot, believing that this has something to do with love. Well, it has to do with frequency, but unconditional love is not a frequency. It's not maternal. It's not paternal. Doesn't feel there's no gender feel to it whatsoever. That's why it's been called that. Some teachers who are abiding in it say that, or the self, just that. That. What gender is that? None. There's no gender to it. The whole gender politics thing remains in frequency always. It's just that the frequencies are always battling with each other and always changing, and because none of them work. There's always dissatisfaction. No matter what frequency you're experiencing, there's always dissatisfaction there. And there's always blaming, and there's always clinging to hope, and it flip-flops, and one frequency level they'll say, yeah, this frequency is the best, and this is how we symbolize it. The other frequency, it's this frequency is the best. This is how we symbolize it. And it's all the clash of symbols, the clash of cultures, the clash of frequencies, the demand to keep the frequencies pure in one place and don't mix them. If we keep it pure, we'll reach satisfaction. So the higher frequencies are kind of like going into a place where they try to purify everything and keep it from getting mixed with the lower frequencies, believing that's salvation. That'll get rid of that dissatisfaction. Same thing with the lower frequencies. The lower frequencies say we want to keep out all higher frequencies, and by doing that, we'll find satisfaction. We'll find a new self, a new identity will magically emerge from that. And then in mixing the two, we say, well, the higher didn't work and the lower didn't work, so let's mix the two. Maybe that'll work. That doesn't work either. Still, the dissatisfaction is there. Let's just enjoy the ambience here. Wonderful ambience. Enjoy the ambience wherever you are. Enjoy the July 4th, Independence Day. And the fact is, though, this is the last Independence Day, because the separation of the frequencies is going to take place very soon. And really, the whole notion of freedom, the whole notion of being able to blend frequencies on this planet, that's been given up. It doesn't. The realization is it doesn't work, and that's why the laws have been changing. That's why the Supreme Court made the decisions they made. There's a feeling like, mixing the frequencies doesn't work. Just doesn't work. We got to separate the frequencies somehow. We got to establish some kind of pure utopia, or a pure higher frequency, pure lower frequency. We need to control the situation more. The desire for more control is coming in the situation. We alternate between let's just no control. Let's just see what happens when there's no regulation. And now let's see what happens if let's really regulate it tightly. Let's see what we can do. Regulate the frequencies. It's all part of that. It's all part of this dance of energy that just keeps dancing, goes through these various dances, but after a while you begin recognizing there's the cha-cha, and there's the salsa, and there's the tango, there's the two-step, and there's the Macarena, you know. There's all these different dances that energy goes through, player frequency goes through these different dances, and eventually you say, wait a minute, I've done that dance before and that didn't work. I'm not going to do that again. Same old dance, same old song. Song remains the same, really. Here comes that leaf blower. Holy cow. Let me go back to some music for you here. The ocean. Let's go to the ocean. Let's see if we can go to the ocean. What I can do is I can put my station over this ocean. We can watch the ocean here, but that leaf blower is still there. Let's go over to the Lotus here. Keep the flow going. Okay, here's a very, very important part. As things become choppy, as they keep the flow going. Okay. Shift over to this, shift over to that. Keep your focus on the love. If you need to shift onto one thing to the we'll shift over to the Lotus here, and let's listen to what's over at the Lotus here. You see? You know, we knew that eventually there'd be silence, right? Just have to last it out. And we did. Very great, you see? This is what life experiencing is right now. For the next 6 months, everything you go to will be choppy. Your music, your videos, everything will feel choppy. Really. And it's frustrating. It'll be frustrating, you know. You think, wow, I can't fix it. What's the matter here? The world is very noisy frequencies, very combative frequencies, you know. Kind of, and we try to say, okay, I got to take refuge in this music or something, and yet something will still feel choppy to us. That's what we're facing. So we just had an experience of that, and here we are, silence, right? Beautiful. How nice does that silence feel? Wonderful. Let's just listen to it. Ah, see? Too good to last, huh? So, even in the higher frequencies, it gets disturbed, doesn't it? Only unconditional love does not get disturbed. Let's go back to some music here.
Such a short girl.
They stopped again. All right. All right. As long as we're in in frequency, we can be disturbed. And the frustration that comes from being disturbed, right? Just imagine you're in the higher frequencies and some lower frequency kicks in, you know. Oh, it's so upsetting, you know. Some people get really mad, you know, when a leaf blower on a holiday comes in, you know. It's just like, it's blasphemy. And when you're on a lower frequency, you get really disturbed when higher frequency kicks in. You know, lower frequency doesn't want any talk about higher frequencies. They want just the pure low frequency stuff. You know, death metal music. You know, just that rasp, vocal rasp. You know, everybody's dying, everybody's gore, and everybody's terrorized, and we want just all that stuff. They don't want the higher frequency comes in. Someone comes in and starts, you know, saying, let's have a moment of silence. Let's have a moment of peace and calm. And they say, forget it. You know, we want the drums to be pounding, you know. So they hate it. They hate it. Just like in a higher frequency, you know, you bring in that vocal rasp and everybody's dying. And they say, stop that, stop that. We want beautiful chimes here, you know. And I don't know why this video just froze up, but it did. But they say, we want the... Is this still recording, or it froze up for a second? Well, let's keep going as if it didn't freeze up. I don't know what's going on. Maybe there'll be a break in continuity here. Very interesting. Maybe there'll just be silence right now. Anyway, in the lower frequencies, higher frequencies, both of them, they don't want any mixture. And then maybe this video will unfreeze at some point. It says at 4603 right now. And it suddenly just stopped, just froze up on us, which again shows you what can happen. Something can suddenly die. You know, suddenly change in frequency. There's deaths, there's changings, there's sudden shiftings. We're headed towards one very soon. And but unconditional love cannot freeze up, cannot change, cannot crash, cannot have problems. There are no problems. It's problem free. And here we go, and I'm back. We just went through an incredible shift right here. What's going on? I don't know what's going on here. Computer's going crazy. Are we still recording here? I think so. Wow, now it says 47:57. Unbelievable what just happened. Never seen that happen on the computer. The screen jumped around, it refreshed itself. This Ustream box refreshed itself several times, blinked off, just went completely crazy for a while, and yet here we are. Amazing. It's been an amazing video, hasn't it? And it just shows you unconditional love can't freeze up, it can't crash, it can't go blank, it can't jump around, it can't disconnect, it can't reconnect. It's steady. It's flawlessly unmodifiable, uncorruptible, unchangeable, undistortable. Yeah. That is the truth. There's no leaf blowers in unconditional love. Adios, amigos. The gardeners have done their thing, and they're on down the road. Maybe they're gonna make some more noise somewhere else. Probably. Yeah. All I'm hearing now is the flapping of the American flag out front. Flapping in the breeze. America really died last week. It really died last week. It's dead. And it was a tough week, I have to tell you. Even though I've detached a lot, realizing that the America that used to be is no longer, with the passage of the healthcare and the immigration ruling by the Supreme Court. Both of those rulings fundamentally changed the nature of society. Fundamentally changed. And never be the same again. It's over. The America that I grew up in, that I believed in, that I partially believed in. I didn't. I was always aware that unconditional love is the answer. So I really didn't buy in altogether. Okay, on any frequency, I didn't buy into it. But I'm still living here, you know, and there still was a feeling occasionally of like, you know what, this is a pretty great place we live in. Occasionally. I also realized it was a pretty lousy place too. but that whatever it was, however you want to characterize the way the USA used to be, that's finished. It's done. It's gone. Never to return. And for one morning, I was depressed. I have to tell you, I was depressed. Really depressed for a little while, but I came out of it, you know, pretty quickly. Which I guess you wouldn't say. I wasn't depression. Depression usually means it's lasted a while. I was depressed. My mood was down. It's like, wow. It's gone with the wind. That's what happens in existence. The play of frequencies, no matter what frequency you're in, is going to change. Something's going to happen to it. You can't keep it steady. Because literally, the play of energy is the play of forgetfulness of what we are. And the play of forgetfulness of what we are has to change. Because as soon as something stays the same, we start remembering, like, wait a minute. I sort of reminded of something, you know, reminded of what we are, being, reality. It can't be modified, it doesn't change. The way it functions, functionality of reality doesn't change. What my identity, our being doesn't change. So existence has to change because its purpose is to keep us in a state of forgetfulness of what we are. And it can't separate from its purpose. Effects can't separate from their cause. We chose the idea of trying to change what we are, trying to be prime creator, and so we must be in a state of forgetfulness of what we are. We must be in the belief that change is possible. So there's constant change, constant impermanence in existence. So all frequency, we go into a higher frequency, we try to purify it, we'll find out that eventually the lower frequencies start creeping in, and we can't stop them. Same with lower frequencies. Eventually in lower frequencies, we find the higher frequencies start creeping in. And eventually then you go back to this third dimensional situation where mixed frequencies, and you try to find it there, and you realize that doesn't work, and then you throw up your hands and say, you know, maybe I better go to satsang. Maybe I'd better inquire into unconditional love, which is what we're doing right now. Roll with the punches, as we have in this video. It's been a great example of how to just roll with the punches. Don't get flustered. And if we get depressed, just say, you know what, I'm entitled to unconditional love. I'm entitled to experience unconditional love. I'm entitled to have my experience be under God's laws, the Prime Creator's laws and rules. I'm entitled to remember what I am. I'm entitled to that. And just tell yourself that I'm entitled to satsang. I'm entitled to experience unconditional love. I'm entitled to get free of frequency. What was that? Another noise. Bubba. Uh-oh. Now there's something happening going on here, but this is still taping, so we'll keep on taping. Maybe I should just end the video now before something happens. You know. Probably. It's been a great time. Great video. A lot of fun. You see, satsang is greater than the words spoken. It's an attitude. It's an invitation to experience unconditional love, which is beyond all teaching, all understanding, all words, all concepts, all belief, all faith. And it only comes about when we exchange premises. Okay. So let's see if we can get this to upload to YouTube. And when you comment to see if you've watched the entire video, you can preface it by saying unconditional love, ... and then the comment. That's to see if you actually watched the video or not. If you've actually gone through the whole of it, which is important, right? Because if you have, you'll realize there's a lot more to it than just somebody sitting up here jabbering about something. Stuff was happening. We were adjusting to it. There's an entire totality to the whole situation of interferences and difficulties, etc. And we use those as expedients for teaching. And that is exactly what you need to do as you go through the next 6 months. Stuff is going to happen for you. Stuff is going to come up. It's going to get choppy. And you need to use those as expedients. And smile and laugh and have good humor with it and say, haha, that frequency is getting all choppy, whatever, but who cares? You know, I'm going to experience unconditional love. That's where I'm going. So if you've watched through the whole video, you've been blessed. It's time well spent. Preface your comment by unconditional love ... and then make your comment. All right? Very good. Very great. It's been a pleasure to share this time with you here on the 4th of July, and look forward to other videos, other days, other moments. Very great. That's it for this video.